Good morning, Unity. How are you? It is so good to be here with you today. And first, I want to say thank you to Reverend David Howard for allowing me to come and play with you guys on his platform. Because it takes trust for a minister to do that. And thank you so very much. I want to thank Trish, who always is there doing magnificent work, the musicians, and I want to thank everybody who is here. So let's get into this. You know, it's an interesting thing, right? We are living in interesting times. You know, no matter what seems to be going on, there always seems to be, chaos that's happening, right? The media keeps bombarding us with news that is designed to keep us in fear. You know, we hear about things that are just happening all over the world. We hear about things that, sometimes we hear that it's always going to get worse. It's so hard to move forward and to move ahead. And this is why I think we in Unity, we in all of the spiritual paths and teachings around the world are here at this particular time. We are here to shine. We are here to be the light of the divine. Exactly. We are not to conform to the news. We are not to get sucked into all of that is happening. I know people who love to watch the news, and then I listen to their conversations. Oh, life is so hard. Life is so bad. We're never going to make it. And it's because they have been sucked into that particular paradigm, which is not the truth. See, because the truth is life is good all the time. We just need to choose. We are called to choose to see it. Romans 12:2 says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." In other words, have a new thought. Let's not get sucked into what the news is saying or what some of our best friends are saying. And it takes a boldness to stand firm, to have a new thought. And it's the new thought that changes our charges or helps to create that new paradigm within ourselves. And that verse keeps going on. "But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." But here's the thing about the will of God. The will of God, from my perspective, in my experience, is the same as our heart's desire. Our heart's deepest desire is the will of God. For example, everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants to live in peace. Everyone wants prosperity and abundance. Everyone wants, harmonious relationships. This is our heart's desire. The will of God is that we live in harmony. The will of God is that we have more than what we need, for all needs are met, for it's God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. It is God's will that we live harmoniously. See, so God's will for our lives is the same as our deepest heart's desire. How cool is that? And here's the thing about that, right? Because God's will, I want to do God's will. I want to do God's will. I want to do God's will. Well, in order to do God's will, I need to let go of whatever crazy backwards thinking that I may have been practicing, to surrender all of that and then tap into my heart's desire. And as I tap into my heart's desire, now I am connected with the will of God. Now, I'm not just speaking about me, I'm speaking about all of us. To be transformed by the renewing of our mind is about taking and having a new thought about whatever comes up. And this is what I love about being a divinely human being, is that we have the ability to choose our thoughts. Had a teacher years ago say, the only thing The only purpose for thought is for my consideration. I have a thought come through, I can consider going, do I go along with this thought or not? I love the gift that we have. Choice is one of the greatest gifts that we have. Choice. So we get to choose to have a new thought. We get to choose to either stand in this vibration of lack and limitation, or we can choose to have a new thought of prosperity and abundance, which is always all around us. So, God's will, who is right now calling, and our desire are the same thing. I have this really quick side note, right? When I do classes, and people who join the classes or sign up for the classes, which I hope that you sign up for the Way of the Christ. It's a great class. And one of the questions that I have is, so you heard the call. You heard the calling. Why'd you answer the phone? Why'd you answer the call? And here's the answer that I get most of the time is, they couldn't help it. When the Spirit calls from within, you have no choice. Now, of course, you say, but Eugene, we always have a choice. When it comes to Spirit knocking on your heart, going, it's time to come out from among them, and we'll get to that, we have no choice. Now, I do have a choice to do something else, but life is not quite the same. Life is not quite as joy-filled. Life is not as filled with grace as when I choose to follow that path. In other words, no matter what the news is showing us, no matter what people are doing or not doing, no matter what people are saying or not saying, we are to keep our thoughts stayed on the divine. We are to keep our thoughts focused on the truth. And what is that truth? That life is good. No matter what the appearances are, no matter what the appearances are, Yeshua Messiah, Jesus the Christ said, do not judge by the appearances. See, I don't know about you, but my physical eyes, man, they can sometimes tell me lies. Oh, that's not so funny. When you're standing in my shoes, it's not funny. You know, because I had mentioned this before, I mention this whenever I can, that I got my master's from MSU, making stuff up. Making up all kind of crazy things. Oh, I wonder what they're thinking about me now. Oh, they must be thinking that I'm not good or whatever it is. But here's the thing about being created in the spiritual image and after the likeness of the divine is that we get to make it up. We get to make life up. We get to make this up. MSU, is about making self up. How do you want to live your life? Why is life good? Dr. Ernest Holmes said, there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. That life is all of life right now. Myrtle Fillmore, she put it this way. The light of God revealed to us that life was God, that we are inseparably one with the source, and that we inherited from the divine, perfect Father, Mother, God, President, whatever you want to call it, but that we have inherited all of that. Why? Because there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is your life now. Isn't it an amazing thing to step into this and then to not only step into it, but then to live from that unapologetically? Knowing this keeps us in peace. And as we are reminded in Isaiah 26:3, you see, I come from a Bible background when I was growing up and had to come back around to it going, oh, now I get what they're talking about. It's not what they were teaching me. It's something totally different. Thou wilt keep us in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. For in thee we have trusted, O Lord, forever and ever. Thou wilt keep them in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on the presence. And this is what I love about the presence. Not only does it surround us, it is absolutely at the very core of our being. So when I say keeping our mind single on the presence of God, I have no other choice but to surrender to that. And as we surrender to that, we are guided and directed to experience only the highest and the best. Do you realize how magnificent you are? That's not a rhetorical question. This is working, right? Do you realize how magnificent you really are? Yes. Thank you, because you are. You know why? Because you are created in the spiritual image and after the nature of the divine. That same intelligence that causes the sun to shine is that same intelligence that beats your heart. So the heart's beating, right? And it's pumping blood. And that same intelligence has created the blood vessels, the arteries, the veins that go through the entire body temple. That's a divine intelligence that we are one with. Here's the thing. Knowing this truth is one thing. Knowing it is one thing. Living it is something totally and completely different. It's one thing for me to know the truth. But if I am not living it, and this is just for me, if I am not living it, then how completely do I really know it? See, in order for me to really know the truth, I must live the truth. Oh, God, really? I must be the truth. I had a mentor of mine say years ago, Eugene, we're not human doings. We are human beings. We are here to be the magnificence of the divine. That's why we are called. That's why Yeshua Messiah said, come out from among them, which is the name of the talk, by the way. It's about coming out and shining your light. We are the fire. Thank you, my brother Robert. We are here to have a paradigm shift. Thank you, Jeff. The energy we are to stand in and then be is a magnificent responsibility. Charles Fillmore, in his book, The Mysteries of Genesis, writes, every man by his example and word is his brother's keeper. Jesus said, as Charles Fillmore keeps writing, Jesus said, even so, let your light shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Now, here's the thing that we all know, right? Where is heaven? It is always within. The kingdom of heaven is within. Yeshua Messiah was always about standing in the truth that there isn't a heaven that is outside. In the Gospel of Thomas, and we'll go over this in class, in the Gospel of Thomas, it talks about if they say that heaven is in the sky, the birds will reach heaven before you. If they tell you that the kingdom is in the ocean, the fish will reach it before you. Here's the thing, the heaven is not out there, heaven is right here. It is not a place that we go after the body temple shuffles off, after we shuffle off the mortal coil of our body temple. Heaven is a state of consciousness. So is hell. It's a state of consciousness. Back in the day, the Temptations had this song, you make your own heaven and hell right here on earth. There's a line in that song that says, time passes and your values change. You and your beliefs are the weights. That was back in 1969, the Temptations. Heaven is always inside. So when we are talking about experiencing heaven on earth, we are talking about experiencing ever-expanding good. To me, heaven is ever-expanding good, whatever good means for you. Emma Curtis Hopkins would say that whatever your good is God. So prosperity is good, great, that's heaven. Perfect and divine health is heaven, and that's good. It's ever expanding. And here's the thing. Slow down, Spirit. Here's the thing, is that we get to speak our word and speak it into being. Because there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is our life right here and right now. So we can no longer afford to keep our light turned down. The world is calling for us. You, me, and we. We are the fire. We are the mountain. We are the water. We are the way that God shows up. So we can no longer afford to keep our light turned down. It is time to come out from among them and turn the light on. Turn the light up. I said, but wait, Eugene, you don't know what I've been through. I'm afraid to shine my light. I'm afraid to okay, maybe not you guys, but me and some of your friends have been afraid to shine our lights. And so what is that fear about? Well, usually it's about, fear of being judged. What will they say? What will they say if I show up big, bold, and bodacious? Now, I used to think, making stuff up, that if I shine my light, that I will lose friends, I will gain enemies, that people will think that I'm arrogant, that in whatever I was making up in my mind. Here's the thing about making stuff up. People are going to make up anything and everything about you anyway. What people don't know about you, they'll make up. So it doesn't matter what they say or what they think. What's important is what you say about you, what you think about you. So who are you? You are the divine being. You are the infinite intelligence of the one. So here's this fear that comes up, right? I'm afraid to show up. I'm afraid to shine my light. I'm afraid that I'm going to come from this place of darkness. Fear is, and we have heard so many acronyms, false evidence appearing real, forgetting everything is all right. I was doing a class in New Mexico, and somebody had a different twist on the letters FEAR. She said, feeling excited and ready. So I liken that to, as we are in line for an amusement park ride, the big roller coaster, and we're in line, and as we get closer, there may be this little fear going on, this excitement, right? This fear. But we keep going forward, and we keep going forward until we get on the ride, and we can be scared, but it's so much fun and excitement. Feeling energized and ready. Or is that fear like Marianne Williamson talked about in her book, Return of Love. Return to Love. It's all about the love. Where she writes, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Who are you not to be brilliant, marvelous, fabulous, genius? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Man, I was a master at that. Let me not rock the boat until the boat began to sink because I wasn't shining my light. We are all meant to shine as children do. Isn't it wonderful to see the kids up here and just shine? We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. She goes on to say, and as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. This is walking in the way of the Christ. This is standing bold in knowing that one life, that same power that causes the sun to shine, is that same intelligence that flows through each and every one of us. It is because when we stand in that knowing, it is incumbent upon us to show up and shine. The world, especially today, is calling for each and every one of us to turn up our light without fear, without judgment, without hesitation, to be bold, bad, and bodacious. Why not? Why not be magnificent? Those have been my two favorite words over the last 6 weeks. Why not? Why not be healthy? Why not be rich? Why not be creative? Why not? Why not? Well, because if I do that, then people are going to talk about me. They're going to talk about you anyway. So why not show up as the magnificent being that you are? This is showing up as the presence of the I am. The presence of the I am. You realize how magnificent you are, right? Yes, you do, because you said so already. Here's the thing about the I am. I love talking about the I am. The I am is powerful. The I am. The words I am are words of creation. And here's the other thing. We know what the name of God is, and we get it from the book of Exodus. Exodus 3:14 to be exact. So Moses is in front of the burning bush, which symbolizes, because there really wasn't any burning bush, not really, but it symbolizes his enlightenment. And he's having this discussion within himself, because the voice of God, that how it's written, God and Moses are having this conversation, but that conversation is going on within Moses. And he's told that he is to go to Pharaoh and the children of Israel to tell Pharaoh, number one, let my people go, and telling the children of Israel, it's time for us to move on. Moses says, let me read it from Scripture. Moses says, well, who should I tell them sent me? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, I am hath sent me. So the name of God, you all, one of the names of God is I am. Now, here's the powerful thing about this. Whenever we say I am, and we say it probably 301 times a day, anytime we use the phrase I am, we have just taken on the name of the divine. And anything that we put after I am, we create. I am sick and tired. And you watch the people who say that in their lives are sick and tired. How about those who say, God, I am having a magnificent day, and their day is magnificent. So I would want you to try this on, to be really aware of what you put after I am. In the book of Exodus, again, in terms of the commandments, it says, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. So anything that I put behind I am that is negative, I have just taken the name of God in vain. I am not worthy. I am poor. I have just taken the name of God in vain. But that verse continues on. For the Lord, which is the law, will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. In other words, anything that I put after I am, negative or positive, I am not held guiltless, meaning that whatever I put after I am going to experience. How cool is that? That the power of your word is the power of your creation. This is nothing new. I'm not saying anything new. I'm just here to remind us that as we stand in the I amness of our being aware of what we say. People say, be careful of what you ask for, because what you ask for, you're going to get. So I say, don't be careful, because being careful generates or has in that some fear. Be careful. So don't be careful of what we ask for. Let's be aware of what we ask for. Let's be aware. And when we are in that awareness, then we get to say, oh man, I am experiencing perfect health right here, right now, trusting that my word must be made manifest. For in Job 22:28, it says, thou shalt also decree a thing, and it will be done unto you. So it's really, really, really important that you get how powerful your words are. Words create. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. The Word. So people ask me, Eugene, what is God? It's the Word. Because why? The Word creates. So this also puts a different spin. Thank you, Spirit. It also puts a different spin on that verse, I am, that Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. But it wasn't just for Yeshua Messiah, who was the magnificent example. He was not the exception. He was the example. Because he said, greater things than these things you shall do. So what does it mean for you? How does it feel for you to take this on? That I am the way, the truth, and the light of Spirit. Try that on. I am the way, the truth, and the light. And as we continue, that's why I love affirmations. Because as I continue to affirm this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, life opens up to give us the experience that we are the way, the truth, and the light of the one. See, this was what Yeshua came to remind people of who we truly are, that we are the Christ. But isn't this what Messiah was teaching? That we are one with God, and because we are one with God, we are perfect. Oh, I can hear it. Oh, no, Eugene, I'm not perfect. There's only one that is perfect, and that is Jesus. That is God. We can't be perfect. Here's the definition of perfect. Out of Merriam-Webster, perfect is whole and complete. One of the definitions. But Yeshua also taught, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. That amazes me. Because perfection is something we don't need to look for. Perfection is something that we already are. So how many, by a show of hands, are ready to step into your perfection? Yes. And even if some of you are going, I'm not putting up my hand. But that's okay, because even in that, you're perfect. See, it takes courage to come out from among them. It takes courage to stand boldly in who you were created to be. It takes courage. But I love the word courage because the root word of that is cour from the French, meaning heart. It takes heart to stand boldly into what we are here to be. So it is time. It is time for all of us to come out from among them. It is time to stand up. It is time to stand boldly in the light that we were created to be. Shine your light, and shine your light not only boldly, shine your light not only from a place of gratitude, shine your light from a place of joy. Oh man, have a ball. Scripture says, and then we'll close. Scripture says, unless ye be like a child will ye enter the kingdom, meaning that innocence, meaning that place, not childish, but childlike, having that childlike joy. I love being around kids because they have this joy and this presence of now. They're always in the now, and now is the appointed time. for us to stand up and walk in the way of the Christ. I came across this reading by Myrtle Fillmore a number of years ago, and it just blew me away. The one line, "You are the Christ of God." I had to shut the book because it hit me so powerfully. I'm like, wow, I am the Christ of God. I am God's Christ. I am God's light. I am God's life. Christ also means love. I am God's love. Oh my goodness. Walking in the way of the Christ is about recognizing first and foremost that there is only one life, one power, one presence. And that I am one with that. For Yeshua Messiah always said that I and my Father are one. I love Jeff's demonstration because one of the things he said, and there were a few things in there that were just so key, that we are all one. That's why he works with this person, but it affects everyone else. Because truly we are all one. And being that Christ presence, we get to change the vibration of the planet. Coming out from among us is about standing boldly for what is right. Who cares about what the politics say? What we get to ask is, what are our values? No matter what side of the political game you're on, we get to ask, but what do you value? Now politics is taken out of it. Now we get to show up and like, oh, I stand for the value of this. I value life. I value love. I value peace. I value harmony. It is time to shine our lights. Are you with me? No, really, are you with me? Yes. Whatever that means for you, however you shine your light, please turn it all the way up because the world needs you.